but a good one.
It's,
Good
well,
day.
we're hearing some wonderful results.
Yep.
All right. Are we ready?
Yes, we are, and we are live. Thank you for joining us this evening.
Lynn, would you please call the roll?
Sure. Margot,
Yes.
Tom Pukish,
Present.
Andre Dordia,
He's here.
Here, sorry.
Belly?
Raised.
Here.
John Ansel,
Here.
Bob Brenneman,
Here.
Mike Beitendijk,
Here.
Andrew Dutton, Bob Grolinski,
Here.
Joel Montgomery,
Here.
Bob Reynolds,
Here.
Bill Sharon, Samara Zimmerly,
Here.
Mike Steiner,
Present.
Dr. Tufts,
Here. Thank you.
Fred Troyer, Linda Paulo, and Jonathan Millay.
Here.
Thank you all very much. In your packets were the minutes from the March 25th, 2021 meeting. Are there additions or corrections to the minutes? If not, I would entertain a motion to approve.
Move to approve Margot Dordia.
Okay, thank you. Is there a second?
Second. Steiner.
All right, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Andre, the financial report, please.
Another quiet month. In March, we brought in $15,888, spent $16,386, and had a negative change net cash of $497. The general admin expense was for our property liability insurance. And the other thing to note is just because of timing of mail, we did get 2 payments from the St. Paul Hotel. So normally the loan interest and loan principal are about half of that amount for the month, but we did get 2 just because of timing. But you see for the year to date, we're actually about $3,000 ahead cash. So we have about just over $1 million, and we have some of that set aside. So free cash available, we have about 760,000 cash.
Okay. Are there questions? If not, I'd entertain a motion for approval, acceptance. Okay, thank you.
Move to approve.
Thank you, Steiner. Is there a second?
Second.
Okay, thank you very much. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye. Aye.
Any opposed? The financials are approved. Thank you very much, Andre, for that.
Thank you, Martin.
And now I think we start into some really exciting things, don't we? Jonathan, are you handling this one?
Sure, thank you very much. We are going to discuss a enterprise zone request, and we have with us Mr. Jason Miller from EPAC Manufacturing. They are one of our rather larger employers in town, operating off of Pittsburgh Avenue. They have for quite so many years, producing products that go throughout not just Ohio, but multi-state region. With specialization in creating containers. We might colloquially call them as dumpsters, but also truck trailers. So Jason's company has been working very hard to bring this product to a national market, all from little Wooster, Ohio. So there's an exciting project that EPAC Manufacturing is planning to undertake, and that is the construction of a 13,000 square foot paint and industrial manufacturing facility that'll be an additional building on their campus going forward if this is approved this evening. To help make the project occur, the company will also need to establish 15 new jobs at the project site. This is in addition to their 120 person workforce for a total of 135 jobs. In order to focus those revenues and energies toward employment to make these products possible, as they are labor intensive, the company is seeking community support through the enterprise zone. And so in your packet, you see specific details on that, and that is, if approved this evening, This, in any event, goes forward to Worcester City Council for their consideration, which would occur here on Council's May 3rd meeting. So in your packet, just to give you a quick overview, you see Pittsburgh Avenue arriving toward the end of our city limits, and this is where EPAC is located, and you see highlighted the manufacturing paint facility that they intend to construct with this project. Additionally, I'll just give you some financials. I'll have that up on the screen here for a little bit. The building is currently valued at $2.3 million. The proposed investment would be approximately $1 to $1.25 million of new construction to establish this new facility. That brings a valuation in our market typically of between $35,000 to $50,000 a square foot. And so with the with the enterprise zone program, the applicant would be able to save between $8,800 and $12,592 annually that could be reinvested in their employment expansion efforts. And we see even with that, there is a net gain on top of the existing $60,000 plus tax bill that this business contributes to supporting our various community entities. The project as proposed would still result in a approximately $3,000 to $4,000 additional contribution in real estate taxes annually, in addition to the company's existing and proposed income taxes. So we are very appreciative of the long history that EPAC Manufacturing has in our community and its innovations. We'd be remiss in mentioning that this is a firm that not only manufactures, but creates, designs, engineers solutions to move very complex, heavy material. So that being said, having that specialized work in our community is a wonderful asset. This is a company that has supported our community through the years, and they're seeking support through the EZ to help them embark upon their next chapter. So, and as I said, I'll be happy to answer any questions, but also Mr. Miller is here to help answer any questions as well. And we thank the board for its consideration.
Well, Mr. Miller, perhaps you could tell us a little bit more in your own words. This sounds like a very exciting opportunity for us, and I hope for you.
I'd love to. Thank you for the time. Appreciate it. Yeah, we have really unlimited market potential. We talked about being located in Wooster and shipping east of the Mississippi, and we have a really good footprint. We service the waste and scrap industries, so those are billion-dollar industries. We have lots of room for growth. In our 3-year plan, we have some pretty aggressive revenue growth numbers baked in there, and this is a key component to that. Looking to, out of this new building, we'd be looking to move our manufacturing of our small dumpsters. So the dumpsters you'd see outside of gas stations and restaurants, this would primarily be housed in that building. And that would also free up our manufacturing space here to put some of our larger containers through up in the current building, and also then free up paint booth space so we don't have a bottleneck there, and really look to grow into that waste environment. Most of the jobs would be skilled jobs, so they'd be welding jobs. We do offer weld training, and it's a very competitive environment right now for good welders, and we're competing with people in and outside of the city and in and outside of the county. We do have a pretty good number of folks within, and for another project I was working on, I had this data, so I thought I would share it with you. Within 3 miles of our facility are approximately 12% of our workforce, give or take, at various times. And it kind of surprised me that we actually had that many. I thought it was an interesting fact. So we're looking to grow that. And again, these are good jobs. We're willing to weld train. And Jonathan touched on it as well. We do some design. And so indirectly from projects like this. As we grow, there'll be more opportunities for engineers. We've added an engineer newly this year, and sales and marketing and accounting that goes with that as well. So indirectly, there'll be some additional job growth.
Great.
Any other questions or anything I can answer?
Does anybody else have questions or comments?
That's exciting for me to hear that growth, because you guys were down in southern Wayne County where you originated, and I can remember the lot that you were on, and to see where you guys are now is just pretty amazing. So congratulations to you on that growth. That's phenomenal.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Well, may I have a motion regarding this matter? A motion to,
Move to approve, Margot.
okay, thank you. Is there a second?
Second.
Okay, that was Mr. Bytendike first, I think. Discussion. Well, if we're ready to vote, let's vote. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Or raise your hand.
Aye.
Any opposed? Same sign. Well, thank you very much, Mr. Miller, and we wish you the best, and we're so glad you're continuing to invest in Wooster.
Thanks again for your time. I appreciate it.
I know council will be delighted to get this package.
Great.
Well, thank you very much. And we're going to be jumping into another item here where we'll be going into executive session. Mr. Miller, you're welcome to continue with us, although it'll probably be a little bit of a long wait. Otherwise, we'll look forward to catching up a little later. So that being said, we do have an item for executive session after this item with the enterprise zone. This is matters to discuss real estate.
Okay. Is that a motion, Jonathan?
Well, I'd like to ask if, thank you.
I'll move to go to executive session.
I will second that.
Okay, thank you. Lynn, would you call the roll, please?
You're muted, Lynn. There you go.
Okay.
I'm never muted. Margot,
Yes.
Tom Pukish,
Yes.
Andre,
Yes.
John Ansel,
Yes.
Bob Brenneman,
Yes.
Mike Bytendike,
Yes.
Andrew Dutton,
Yes.
Bob Grulinski,
Yes.
Joel Montgomery,
Yes.
Bob Reynolds,
Yes.
Samara,
Yes.
Mike Steiner,
Yes.
Michael Tefts,
Yes.
and that does it.
Thank you, Lynn.
All right. We are gonna, you'll see an invitation to a breakout room coming up on your screen here. And we will be moving into that. And hopefully we should be all set here. And that should be getting, you'll get an invitation to join. And then we'll wait to make sure everybody has a chance to log.
Lynn. Yes, we're back. The mayor made the motion to come out of executive session, which was seconded by Mr. Dordea, and it was unanimously approved by roll call vote.
Okay,
Okay, we're ready to move forward with the items on our agenda. And I would entertain a motion to authorize me on behalf of our corporation to execute the agreement with Hutton Exploration for the services to plug 4 oil and gas wells and to execute the documentation therein and to advance the expenditure of approximately $80,000 for that purpose.
So moved.
Thank you. Is there a second?
A second.
Thank you. Discussion?
I would, since this has been my livelihood for many, many decades now, I'd just comment that John Bernhardt is a good person. He's been involved in the oil and gas industry for really all of his life, and his father before him was Jim Bernhardt, and they were involved in the oil and gas business. So he's very reputable. I think he'll do a good job, a great job for us, and I'm very comfortable with him being the person that would be plugging these wells for us.
Well, part of my heart breaks that we're not generating enough oil and gas from them to power the company there, but so be it.
Mine too.
That breaks my heart. But any other comments, discussion? All those in favor of the motion, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Thank you. Now we have our next item is the
Number 5, we're gonna,
We'll want to accept the real estate to begin with. I
right.
believe.
We need to agree to accept the real estate, which the council has so generously given to us to manage on their behalf. We will do our very best on that. I hope the council understands that we will do our very best. And so therefore, we need a motion to authorize me on behalf of the corporation as president to execute the agreement to acquire the property in accordance with our Worcester City Ordinance 2021-17 and any documentation in connection therewith. May I have such a motion? Okay, Andre made a motion. Is there a second?
I would
Second by the mayor. Discussion? All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Thank you. Next thing we have is the property exchange. And we have a motion, we have an opportunity to do a property exchange to benefit Wooster Brush. This is part of a transaction we discussed last meeting to enable them to build a new distribution center and retaining it in Wooster. But they'd like a little bit of swap of property to make that easier for them. And it's to our benefit as well. So I'd like a motion authorizing me on behalf of the corporation to execute the real estate exchange agreement with the Wooster Brush Company. This is property located at the north end in the acreage we just basically received, and to execute any documents in conjunction with therewith.
So moved.
Thank you, Mike. Is there a second?
Second.
Second from Mr. Grolinski. Comments, discussion? Okay. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
We also have before us,
That's right, and I need to abstain on that one.
right, yes,
Thank
and please note that Mr. Reynolds has abstained. And we are entering into an agreement to sell property to Skinnell Properties LLC, approximately 27.765 acres at the Worcester Innovation Park. And that is an exciting new opportunity that we're really pleased about. And I'd like the authority to, a motion to authorize me as president on behalf of the corporation to execute the real estate agreement with them in the approximate price of $971,775 and to execute all documentation in connection therewith. Is there such a motion?
Whoa,
So moved.
Okay, that was Mr.
Second.
Dyke. and, okay, Dordea and Beitendijk second. Thank you. And Mr. Reynolds is recusing on this one. Thank you. All in favor? Please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Thank you very much. Further on the Skinnell property, we're going to need to work with them and to ask Mr. Scavelli on our behalf, and probably our title people, to work on providing them early access, which will mean they would be doing construction on the property possibly before the deed was transferred. And there's, as Mr. Reynolds will say, there's always some risk involved with that when we do that. However, in this instance, there are no existing buildings. We can write around the risk. We can insure around the risk. The title company can protect us against liens for the property. But it is a few more steps, particularly for the title company. And so there may be some additional expense, but that again, we would really intend for the bulk of that to be on the purchaser in this instance and not the company, and not Wooster Growth. But I would like specific authorization for us to be able to give Skinnell, the purchaser, the opportunity to enter onto the property and begin making improvements or adjustments or deconstruction or construction prior to them having full ownership thereof. May I have a motion?
Margot.
Thank you, Andre. And a second?
Second.
Second from Mr. Berlinski. Thank you. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
And again, Mr. Reynolds is recusing himself. Okay, is there, oh, we have the authorization on the farm, do we not?
Farming lease. Yep.
The farm lease. And we have before us a proposed lease for this crop year only, correct? For 2021 crop year?
It will be renewable, subject to our notification before January of the preceding year for the growing season to terminate.
Okay, so it's not automatically renewable then?
It automatically renews unless either party writes prior to January 1st. And it would be roughly 4 years is what we understand would be there. But that's assuming that the property would be available. But at any given time, Wooster Growth would retain the right to sell the property.
Okay. So we need a motion to enter into a farming agreement with Brian Studer, who does business as Myrtle Farms, Inc., for the farming, the continued farming on the east portion of the 5L farm property, which has just been transferred to us by council. And this would be a gain of approximately $14,000 per year, would keep the property productive, and it would be paying at least even CAUV, it will be paying tax. And as you have just heard, the lease will be renewable. However, in the event that we would have an opportunity for a different business to come in, it could be terminated relatively quickly.
Immediately.
Okay. May I have such a motion, please?
So moved.
Second.
Thank you, John. Mr. Ansel moved. Is there a second?
Second.
Second from Mr. Dordea. Comments, questions, discussion? All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
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 Thank you so much. And now, on our agenda, I think we are back to looking at the revised draft of the governing documents. Excellent job. Thank you, John, for helping with that.
Welcome.
Really appreciate it. And it seems to me that what we ought to do, what I'd like to do, is for all of us to review these, and if there are comments or changes that you believe are important to you or think would be of value, let's make a comment to Jonathan so he can, or to John Scavelli, probably more appropriately, so that those could be integrated, and then we can see whether we are going to be in position. We can notify each other, and then we can see if we're in a position to vote on them next month, our next meeting. Does that sound acceptable to everyone?
Sounds good.
I think it looks really good, John. Really appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Certainly appreciate all the work Mr. Steiner has done in the committee. It's been wonderful.
Just a comment, Margot, the committee has reviewed it and unanimously agreed that what Mr. Scavelli has proposed met our expectations.
Wonderful. In that case, I doubt you'll get very many queries from anybody. So please, at that point, let's be prepared to vote on it at the next meeting.
That's good.
All right, is there anything else? Jonathan? Oh, Mr. Reynolds.
Mark, I just wanted to say, I don't know if there's maybe it's more appropriate to talk about this when we had it before us, but you mentioned the approval of the territory transfer or the tentative status of that. And I want to give a shout out to both the Wooster City School District and Green Local School District for making that happen. It didn't get a lot of attention, I had nothing to do with that. So I'm not trying to, pat myself on the back in any way, but I saw it happen. And I know that a lot of people in Worcester Growth had a role in that happen. So my appreciation for all the effort that went into that. I'm guessing both boards of education feel like they could have done better, or, that they wanted more, but that's typically the sign of a good compromise. And this is one that, tonight or this afternoon's actions are a good example of what this allows us to do. I think at least I would have more reservations about putting time and effort into development in Green Local. Nothing against them. Great school district, great superintendent, but by and large, I expect the Worcester City taxpayers, by and large, expect to see that our efforts are used to benefit the Worcester City schools as opposed to surrounding school districts. So I really think that, again, and the administration gets is a big part of that. So both school districts, the administration, everybody else that had a hand in putting that together, I appreciate it. And both communities, both Green Local and Worcester City School District communities should be appreciative of your efforts because they're both going to benefit from it in the long run.
Oh, I think that's an excellent point, and I'm so glad you brought it up because it really is a tribute to our neighboring communities wanting to be friendly. And at the end of the day, we don't know. We're talking about a whole bunch of new jobs here with potentially young families, and those children may go to our schools or they may go to Green Local schools. So I think something that is fair and is recognizes that potential for both districts is really well done. And I know Dr. Tufts he used to have hair before I think this came up.
I know the feeling, Michael.
But certainly everybody involved has done such a good job. And it's so hard when you have to talk about things like this with neighboring jurisdictions who have their own issues. And did you feel comfortable with the result at the end, Dr. Tufts?
I think Mr. Malaith said it very, very well. It probably wasn't a great deal, but it is a deal. What I'm really happy about is the effort that the city administration put into this. I thought the leadership of our city administrators was phenomenal. I'm happy for the city of Worcester and frankly, the entire county. From an economic development perspective, from a workforce development perspective, as you've already stated in this meeting, the ROI on the new land that was acquired is happening very, very quickly, and that's going to serve the entire county and region very, very well. So it's Mr. Reynolds is right. Probably not perfect, but it's a deal, and it allows all the economic development to continue.
Good.
Well, you trained their superintendent too well.
Hoping that wouldn't come up.
I don't miss many things.
No. Okay. Does anyone else have anything for the good of the order?
I would just add one thing,
Yes.
Margot. I've been on Wooster Growth a fair amount of time, not near as long as yourself, Margot, who's been there for So maybe since the
Ever.
beginning of this. So, but I've never seen an agenda with so much
Oh.
business on it before, and such substantial business for the city of Worcester. So I think it's just amazing what we just accomplished here today, and I just thought we couldn't miss noting that before the meeting ended. So
I think it's a terrific tribute to the teamwork, both our city administration, our council, the farsightedness of council for how they have handled matters with these issues in the past. And I think a real credit to our general community. The people wouldn't be interested in being here if we didn't have a good school system. People wouldn't be interested in being here if we didn't have real support for the businesses that are coming and the businesses that are here. You know, years ago, back in the dark ages when this started, one of our biggest problems was we had employers who said there was no need for any change. We needed nobody new to come into town. Everything was fine. And, you know, as we all know, nothing stays the same. And you have to keep pedaling pretty fast to keep even. And I think our current leaders in this community, our business community leaders, have demonstrated they're wanting to do good jobs for themselves, but they're not afraid to have other people come in. You know, they're competing by having well-trained workforces and good jobs, and they have nothing really to fear. But that's a credit to our I think everybody, and our Samir and Tom, who spend many nights working on it, and our city staff. Everybody needs to be congratulated because you all have done a fantastic job for our community. And it's so exciting, so exciting, so exciting.
Mhm.
And Samir, you'll get a whole new group of volunteers for all of your projects, I hope.
Yeah.
Anything else? Okay, how about a motion to adjourn?
Move to adjourn.
Thank you. Mr. Dyke, second?
Second.
Thank you, Samira. Good luck with your home and garden show. I hope it warms up.
Do everybody come down this weekend?
Okay, good luck. Thank you.
Good
Thank
night.